I guess after all this rambling, my thesis on the evolution of Earth, we have gone through the flourishing times of so many different societies or cultures. So, without knowledge, I my personal feelings or thesis is that the world has gone through ups and downs several times and probably will continue to. Uh, the time for the Romans until uh, the Industrial Revolution, uh, in between, there was several centuries that were just the Dark Ages. And it's my belief that that has probably happened on planet Earth several times, where one culture would rule, flourish, grow, and then a blight sort of come over that culture for whatever reason, and they would diminish. And a few hundred years later, another culture would rise up. Without proof, I suggest it's probably happened on Earth dozens of times. That is my own personal opinion, and I really can't back it up with much facts other than what I've already mentioned. From the Hittites to the New World or the Industrial Revolution, which basically led to the development of the New World, the Americas, in other words. And that's all, y'all.
Well, that could bring us to something else that I've, we our faith as Christian, and you had a heavy upbringing, very down to earth Christian, good people,
Yeah.
and we've carried that on, you, me, on to my kids, my grandkids. It's an ongoing thing, and with what we believe, and that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God. What do you think that looks like moving forward?
Well, of course, I believe in Jesus. If for no other reason, what human being on earth has made the changes Jesus Christ made?
That's right.
Uh, he's given us faith. He, I think, demonstrated to the world that he is the Son of God. And many theories have been developed to try to to prove that untrue, and in my mind, they've all fallen. There's really no evidence that Jesus Christ is anything except the Son of God. And
What stands him out to you different than previous, you know, beliefs, faiths, prophets? What do you think? What makes him so different and special? Take even if you wanted to take away the Son of God, which I believe completely, but just the fact that there's been so many other prophets, and other religions. What brings him, in your opinion, so different to change the world, to make it worldwide and not just a regional situation?
well, he proved to the world that he had the faith and strength of God, was being crucified, dead, and rising from the dead. He performed many miracles from the Lazarus. Rise, take up thy bed and walk, from a guy that couldn't. Uh, he restored life to a person who was dead, had been dead for 2 or 3 days. Uh, he demonstrated to the world that he was the Son of God and could perform miracles. And no other prophet or person that ever professed to have strength has ever proven that.
And I think his many conversations that we've studied and learned, he expands himself to all people. He doesn't, you know, it's not regional. It's
No,
it's
it's not
broad.
regional. It's not regional or ethical. Ethic. Well, what am I trying to say? He doesn't limit it to one society or one type of people. It's to all mankind.
Right. We live in a time now that very aware that other faiths, um, there are people in other faiths that have definitely converted to Christianity from their faith, and that's across the board, across the whole planet.
Yeah.
More and more are listening, and I believe God's working and bringing a common denominator back.
True, but I think one of the strongest modern day movements that we've got going is, well, Jews for Jesus. It's a good example of a lot of Jewish faith is shifted over to Christianity and believing in Jesus Christ. Uh, in the Muslim world, there's been great advances of Christianity. So I just think that uh, how can anyone deny that Jesus Christ is anything but what he is? Uh, no other man has ever walked planet Earth that made the impact that Jesus Christ made.
That's right. And that speaks for itself.
Yes.
Loudly. I mean, that says
Yeah.
everything that, other prophets never
never dreamed of.
Mm-mm. No, I agree. How do you feel about the book of Revelations?
I don't understand your question.
Well, the book of Revelations, it's I've talked with people that believe everything in the book of Revelations is past history and has nothing to do with current situations. And other people believe that Revelations and everything that's happening in the world today, and they believe this, and I know they've been talking about it, the same thing for a very long time, and nothing ever, you know, unfolded in the way they thought it would through older generations. Now there's just a lot of people believe that Revelations is unfolding before our eyes, where Jesus Christ is getting closer to setting up his kingdom. And they believe that because Revelations talks about, all the different, everybody knowing who Jesus is across the whole planet. And technology has definitely propelled that forward quicker to where, used to be just missionary work, and it would, get on a ship or get on a plane or whatever, go to another country, speak of Jesus, and now it's being spoken in an instant through technology and more and more, and that is I feel like that is part of what brings more religions or converting to Christianity now, because of the technology, even though technology will probably be our downfall as well. But on the brighter side of it, I believe that happens, and there's a lot of people talking um, and believing that we're primed for such an event to unfold, where that kingdom that Jesus talked about could happen. A lot of people believe it's happening right before our eyes now. Perhaps this would be the last time that before we completely destroy ourselves again to a pinnacle of where we're about to, like you said, destroy ourselves again. And instead of that happening, that Jesus's promises will unfold first. I mean, that's the talk. A lot of talk.
Well, first off, I don't follow social media
Yeah.
at all. And I don't know that I would even make a comment on I certainly wouldn't fall in line with the social media opinions. I, I think Revelations probably is a good illustration of what could happen in modern day world. But I think the book is there basically as a learning tool for us modern day folks. Uh, but I don't believe in entertaining social media's ideas. I don't believe in social media in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because anybody that has the ability to use a computer or use a cell phone can spew their opinion, which I think 90% of it is fabrication in someone's mind that gets it on the air.
Yeah.
I don't I don't give much faith in any of it. And I would not engage in a debate with any of the dimwits that subscribe to social media. From what little I do know about it, about 90% of it is bullshit.
Yeah.
Uh, and I wouldn't contaminate my mind by studying it. I just don't believe in it. And I don't really want to go there. That's sort of Joel's message today was cast out the fears and look to the face. And
Fear to faith.
Huh?
Fear to faith.
Yep.
Fear to faith. A lot of people fearful. A lot of people. But then again, you have the other side of the coin that people aren't, they're not fearful, they're hopeful. they're, they're tired of the world the way it is, and they're hopeful that it is, time for such transition. They're hoping and praying for it. Enough's enough. We're about to destroy ourselves again. Give us a
I
helping
think it's
hand.
highly possible.
Yeah. I would like to think that, being that it's very highly possible in the way the world is, and not just the United States, across the whole planet, that being that we are believers in Jesus Christ and believe He's one day going to elevate us to a point where we don't go through these cycles anymore. I would really have to believe that He would step in before we destroy ourselves again this time, and maybe this would be for the last time.
I unfortunately do not believe it's the last time.
Yeah.
I think society will continue to repeat itself and evolve. Uh, Melinda, look back to Turkey. They have in the uh, museum the deer-like sculpture of the deer with his head turned backwards. And they have acid tested it in every way. And it's known to be over 5 or 6 thousand years old. And there's no sign of carving on it. It was forged. Somebody had technology enough to heat the metal to pour the sculpture. Now, how did they do it? Well, we don't know. But it's from the era of the Hittites, thought to be a little before or around the time of Moses. Also, somebody in Turkey found a device, a container of sorts, that when you add water to it, it produced direct current. And it was thought to be several hundred years old. I'm talking about 1,002 years old. But now, if we had that kind of technology around 700, pardon me, 7,000 years ago, Now, who knows how many times really the world has flourished and gone up and down. Uh, Man is very creative and can rely on electronics or whatever. And then one day, poof,
It's all gone.
that technology's gone and we got dark ages. And I lean pretty heavily on that because the ancient runways found in South America and in England that are strong indicators that some sort of landing field, this runways, they didn't occur naturally. Man made them, or something altered the earth to create runways. And that couldn't hardly be a natural disaster. I don't think nature would, why would nature do something like that? Squared and leveled and no, I can't I can't buy that. So I believe that if we go back far enough, the Greeks sort of had it pretty right. The god of fire, damn missile taking off. Just look at it. And I think it was interplanetary travel thousands of years ago. I don't know. I can't prove it, but think it. Because we've just got, there's too many questions that we don't have the answer to that was lost in the dark ages and we just don't know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Here's something I do know. I think you're cold.
yeah, I,
I think you need to go inside and warm up a minute.
uh,
Have some breakfast.
no, I can't say I'm a heavy believer that we had interplanet travel. I sort of believe we did.
I think a lot of us believe that. It just makes sense.
When was it? I would say probably before the Hittites, somewhere. Uh, in South America, there's several underground uh, complexes that are forged out of concrete or a concrete related product, and acid tested, found to be several thousand years old. So high technology was there. Uh, when acid testing shows 5,000 to 7,000 years ago. Uh, Another one. Why on Africa was mankind black? Why in Asia was mankind almost red in color? Why in Northern Europe were people blue eyes, blonde hair, and even redheads? I cannot fathom that many changes in mankind unless there wasn't some sort of I can't think of a better way to say it than interbreeding from several different uh, directions. I do not believe that environment created that many changes in mankind. Because you can't just look at the color of skin, look at the structure of heads, made up totally different. Uh, you take a true African, its skull is different. Uh, its color is different. Its eyes are different. Look at Asians and Native Americans. No doubt in my mind that thousands of years ago that some Mongolians crossed into Alaska and over thousands of years came south and developed many different colonies. Did it happen in 100 years? Hell no. A few thousand years. And I can't fathom people becoming that different without the intervention of a different breed getting here. And I don't.
From a different planet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it could have happened.
Yeah.
And who knows, those planets may have already been destroyed by mankind. And now they're hanging there as Mars, Jupiter, and so forth. Uh, some sort of tragedy could have occurred. There's just a whole lot we don't know.
Yeah. But it makes sense.
Huh?
But it makes sense.
Yes.
Of all of it.
Mm-hmm.
It just does.
I can't prove any of that. And really don't worry about it very much.
Yeah.
I'd assume that, well, I know that we have flourished. We've been up, we've been down several times in the world.
Yeah.
The Industrial Revolution occurred in the world in the 1400s forward. Created the steam engine, and next thing we know, we had internal combustion engines. And, well, mankind built technology, and we're building a world of technology. Good technology, but equally as fast, we have a very dirty, filthy technology that's coming along with it. And the good and the bad can one day collide, and a return of the Dark Ages. I can't prove that, but I see how it could happen.
History has taught us.
Mm. We are dealing right now with coming right here to Alabama, the U.S. Space Command. We're growing quickly toward going to other planets. And should we find life on any other planet, you know good and well they'd be interbreeding. All over the world, you can Vietnam's a great example of that. When I was in Vietnam, I spent a few days in Saigon, a few days in Da Nang, and blended some of the prettiest women I ever saw in my life. Stood out down the street, you see the sidewalks covered with people, little short people, and walking in among them is a beautiful female, a foot to a foot and a half bigger than the others, and absolutely beautiful. You know what they were?
Tell me.
The product of the French army that had been there a few years before. And they were looked down on the Vietnamese as, well, a bastard child. But long, tall, beautiful women. I mean, that get exceptionally large. Well, right now on family, we got one. Tim. His daddy, a little old, dried up, nothing. His mother was a 90-pound Korean. And look at Tim. There's something about, if you take the Oriental and the Caucasian and you crossbreed them, you get a super large human being. And if you compared Tim to his father and his mother, they're only a foot and a half taller. So the you go to Europe and you'll find a high yellow black person, a half black, a product of World War II Americans getting to the local females. And I guess wherever there's been a war, there's been a certain amount of interbreeding or crossbreeding into that culture. But how did we all get different? I think there had to be some sort of I can't believe it's all just based on nature. Uh, I mean,
Environment.
environment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it is. I don't know what it is. Several different interplanet travel that created that. I don't know. And I don't think you and I'll ever find out. But it stands to reason that such is possible.
Yeah.
Uh, if you look at the underground activities or underground complexes in South America, the runways in South America, runways in England. Uh, how'd they get there? What were they there for?
Travel. Travel.
That's about all you just say.
Yeah.
Now, did a lot of these other planets that are barren now, did they one day have life on them? I don't know.
I'm gonna go inside, make us some breakfast. How's that sound? Like a plan?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do something.
All right. Well, let's do this.